career.
Can you describe for us in one word what your drag career is and why?
Bright. I would have to say bright because my costumes were always loud, bright, and vibrant. They were always bedazzled and decorated in Swarovski crystal, so they sparkled bright on the stage. But even to the entertaining aspect, it just seemed like bright horizons ahead. Like the possibilities were endless. You were always progressing. You were always learning, evolving. Sometimes, you'd fall. But there was always a bright horizon ahead that you'd get back up and you'd do it again and you'd be better and stronger. And that's why I'd have to say one word to describe would be bright.
Tell us, what turned you on to drag?
Entertainment. I love the aspect of entertainment and self-expression and the costumes and the songs and the different aspects of the entertainment. Like you had some drag queens that could do a wonderful power ballad and just be captivating, just standing there. And then you had the other drag queens that could do backflips and somersaults. It was just entertainment all around. Like everybody had something different, and that's what turned me on to drag. Because growing up, I was always the theater choir kid, always in the concerts and the shows, and just loved the stage. And for me, this was like a giant stage that I could be the star of every show. Whether everybody else was on show with or not, everybody was a star when it came time for their turn. So that's what kind of enticed me for drag, was just the fact of entertainment.
Are there different types of drag art performers? And what are they?
Gosh, there's many different types of drag performers. Just to start off, there's what I do, which is male by female. Or, I'm sorry, restart. Gosh, there's many different drag performers. There's what I do, which is female by male. I'm a man that performs as a female. There's male by female, which is drag kings. There's male by male, which is just gay entertainers entertaining as men as they are. There's female by female, which is just females entertaining as females. Drag necessarily doesn't mean that you're dressed up as the opposite sex. Drag is a way of just self-expression where you just exaggerate what's already there, or create what's not there and just make it larger than it is. But then if you really want to break down the different types of drag, there's pageant drag, like what I typically do, which is compete in pageants like Miss America with crowns and categories and scoring. There's androgynous drag, where it's not really one side of the coin. It's very avant-garde and very raw and rough. There's comedy drag, where it's almost exaggerated in an aspect for humor and laughs. Then there's just, drag is just anything. Anything of self-expression and anything just over the top and just larger than life.
What is the importance of drag in the LGBTQ community?
Depends on who you ask. It means so many different things to so many other people. To other entertainers, it's family. There's so many people that have been disowned by their own friends and family because of who they are, or if they do drag, or if they feel that they need to transition into who they should be. And drag creates a sense of family amongst ourselves for those people that don't have family. If you ask just your general LGBTQ audience, it's a sense of escape maybe from their at-home troubles or what's going on with their life. It's an alternate reality where they can just let go and enjoy who they are and what we are. If you ask all the charities and charitable work that drag entertainers do throughout the year, like Toys for Tots, we do fundraisers of toys for kids at Christmas. We do all kinds of stuff for Ruth Ellis and fundraising for the local community, whether it's LGBTQ or not. Even in the mainstream that's not LGBTQ, drag makes an understanding of LGBTQ more mainstream for the people that aren't involved. Like, you've got RuPaul's Drag Race and Drag Queen Bingo, and they can experience it and get to know that we're not also as different as what most people think. So I think drag means so many different things to so many different people and groups and aspects of life that it can't be summed up in just one bubble. It's so diverse, just like everyone.
To somebody starting out in the drag profession, trying to figure out where they need to go and what they need to do, and just figuring themselves out, do you have any advice for these individuals on how to go about experimenting or beginning this career?
Don't do it. Don't do it. No, my advice would be to have fun. Enjoy every moment and savor it and take in all the knowledge you can. Experience everyone else's craft and everyone else's art form of drag, because drag isn't cut and dry of one specific formula. It's all these other formulas that you gather and collect from everyone else's experiences and watching others on stage and just sitting in their presence and acquiring their knowledge, and then taking what you learn and just experimenting. Like, it might not always work out for you, but maybe in the process you learned, hey, doing this taught me I could maybe do this or should try this, and just experience everything and accept and take in every aspect that you can, personally and physically and emotionally and spiritually, and you will have a well-rounded character and persona, and you'll have you in the end. And that's what makes an entertainer, is you, not a replica and not a copycat or I want to be a this and a that. It's when you do learn and take all those other aspects and mold them and create and make what is you out of it, is what makes a successful entertainer. On stage and inside with you, it makes you successful because you're staying true to yourself. And that's the best kind of entertainment, is when it comes from you and what you are.
Now, I've wanted to bring up for a little while, it seems with every passing question, you seem to appear in a different outfit. Almost like a butterfly unfolding before us. Can you elaborate on this?
I have not changed an outfit at all. I don't know what you've been seeing. This is just magic.
Can you tell us, what type of performer are you?
I'm a genuine performer. A lot of times you run into some performers and they do what they feel they're supposed to do on stage. They do the newest, latest songs because they feel that's what they want in the crowd. They do the type of costumes they feel the type of bar or crowd wants to see. And that's great because you know your audience. But I have been to so many different places across the state, Ohio, and other regions. And sometimes the crowd is not what I think it would be. But I go out there and I do me. And there's been so many times where I've done a song that probably nobody in the bar I knew would know. Something very old and not relevant anymore. But when you do those genuine acts of entertaining where you just do something that you feel inside you and do it, people feel that too. Like, there was one instance where I went to a bar that I've never been, and the demographic was completely the opposite of what I am. And I took an old Phyllis Hyman song. And I knew nobody would probably recognize it, know it, maybe not even care. But I wanted to perform it. Because that's the song I was feeling. And I performed it, and it was received very well, and tip money here and there. But at the end of the show, I had this one guy come up to me, and he thanked me. He thanked me for doing that song that I knew nobody would know, wouldn't get a loud cheer for, because he hasn't heard that song in 40 years. And it took him back to a place. It took him back to a memory. And it made him smile. And that's the kind of entertainer I am, is just a genuine entertainer that just feels what they do. I'm not out to please everybody. If I make one person happy and take one person to a special place and time, then that was my job.
Who and what are some of the icons that you borrowed from that inspired your drag?
Old Hollywood. Ask it again.
Go ahead.
Ask it again. Elizabeth Taylor, Zsa Zsa Gabor. They were just glamour icons and just stunningly beautiful. But at the same time, with all the beauty and the glitz and the glamour, they were strong, independent women. And that's how I saw my drag. I saw it as, just because you're pretty doesn't mean that you have to be this typecast. You could still be strong and demanding and commanding of the stage and just exert pure radiance and dominant power with your entertainment. And a lot of people sometimes look at the pretty drag queens or the pageant queens and think, oh, it's just a pretty face. But sometimes it's the pretty faces that have to work even harder to captivate the audience, because you have to try harder on your performance and your act, because you're not doing the backflips and dancing like Tina Turner. You have to convey more feeling and emotion into your performance.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yep.